There's always a dream of having 2 or 3 passports, and now with globalization and the simplicity and the ease of getting 2 or more passports is within your hands. Thus, today I want to share with you a video about how can you get 2, 3, and even 4 passports under your name where you can travel the world or do whatever you need with those passports. Also, the first thing we'll cover is which passports you would need. And we've done many videos about Grenada, Portugal, United States, Canada, and many different countries. But we want to let you know how. First is how to get the second passport. Second is which passport should you use wherever you are going. And then finally, what are some of the risks that are involved with using your passports and how you can overcome them. So those are the 3 things we're going to cover today in this video. So let's get started. Hello, my name is Ken Duong Global, business and immigration attorney with over 12 years of experience. Our firm has helped hundreds and hundreds of families get immigration and passports in U.S., Canada, Australia, Greece, Portugal, Grenada, and many countries around the world. Thus, we want to be able to help you get your second passport or third passport and how to use it effectively. But if you like this information and you like our videos, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get the most updated information about immigration around the world and especially in Southeast Asia. Thank you. If you are considering to apply for a second or third passport, or if you already have a second passport, let's say the Vietnam passport because you were born in Vietnam or your parents are from Vietnam or you're married to a Vietnamese citizen. You may be wondering how you can manage both passports when traveling and when to use them. First, if you are from and live in the United States, you are supposed to use a U.S. passport to come in the U.S. If you don't want to come under a different passport, as it may require a visa and or a period of stay limit, because the U.S. government does not want you to use another consulate protection while you are in the U.S. if you are a U.S. citizen. But if you are a U.S. citizen and you have a Vietnam passport, let's say you are traveling to Vietnam, you have the option of either using your U.S. passport and your Vietnam passport. So the question is, which one should you use? For example, if you're using your U.S. passport going to Vietnam, you'll have protection of the U.S. consulates, but on the reverse side is you have to have a legal status to stay, such as a tourist visa, a work permit, or some other reason to stay. On the other side is if you can come in on your Vietnam passport and you have the advantage of staying as long as you want, you can interact and transact on different properties in Vietnam as well. But you will not have the legal protection of the United States if something happens while you're on your Vietnam passport. So using your U.S. or your Vietnam passport when coming into Vietnam is a conscious decision. And what we do recommend is use your U.S. passport and get a 5-year visa exemption on that for Vietnam. And then when you need to do something in Vietnam, such as pay taxes, transfer properties, open up companies, then come in with your Vietnam passport. So that would be a recommendation whether to use your U.S. or your Vietnam passport. So the ideal situation would be that you would leave the United States with your U.S. passport and then come into Vietnam with your Vietnamese passport. So that means you spend a lot of time either in the U.S. or in Vietnam. However, if you decide that, hey, there are certain countries that I don't spend a lot of time, but I still would like to have the citizenship, such as the Caribbean, Grenada, Antigua, Barbados, then how do I get that citizenship and how do I use it to my advantage? And that's what we're going to cover up next. Instead, they will be using that passport for travel privileges to go all around the world and get permanent residence, for instance. And the first thing to consider is, what are you telling the airlines or whatever method of travel you're using when you are flying or when you're traveling between 2 countries? It's common that people think that the airline is going to hover over them, making sure that whatever passport they entered in the airline's database is the one that they're going to use. However, the airline's role here is to make sure that you are not going to be denied entry to the next country. For example, if you're a US citizen and you're leaving the United States to enter somewhere else where you've got a passport, we don't believe that there's a huge issue with the passport that you are using in terms of what you are telling the airline. When you arrive, you use that one that is most suitable for your needs. But obviously, again, if you are traveling between two countries where you are a citizen, it will be a bit different than if you are just traveling between two random countries. Another factor when you're traveling as a tourist, such as comparing going to Thailand with the US passport or your Vietnam passport. Both passports allow you to go to Thailand visa-free. So thus, it's a decision that you can make when you go on tourism to various countries on which passport you should use to get the most benefit. What you need to consider is if you already have a residence permit or an existing visa in one of your passports. For instance, if you need to let the airline know in case you have a long-term visa for Thailand, if you go to Thailand to facilitate the process and make things easier. You just need to make sure that when you get to Thailand, you use that passport, and if you wanted to, some other passport that you can get in with visa-free, as long as it didn't invalidate your sticker visa. Understanding which passport to use when you go to a particular country is important, and understanding the local immigration rules. There are some countries, if you only have a residence permit and you use a different passport, it will invalidate your visa. One prime example is Mexico. If you have a Mexican permanent residence card and you come in with a different passport, they will invalidate your Mexico permanent residency or invalidate your visa when you come in. So make sure you fully understand the rules and immigration and regulations of that country before you decide which passport to use. So the question is, where are you going and what are the terms of entry into that country? Mexico doesn't really mind which passport you enter with, but if you have some other kind of immigration status, that's what you want to be concerned about. So the underlying citizenship isn't the issue. And so if you're just traveling, let's say you have those two passports and you're traveling as a tourist to a third country, both the passports let you in. The immigration does not necessarily really mind how you are going into the next place. However, the airline does. They want to see the passport that you're going to enter the next country because their concern is, are they going to have to fly you back when you are denied entry? Another issue that you need to be concerned about with your passport is you may have different names on different passports, even sometimes different birth dates. And that happened a lot for Vietnamese who became American citizens after the Vietnam War. Because after 75, many ran documents by boat, and when they entered another country, because of various reasons, such as they were not old enough to go with the parents, because parents were separated from kids. So therefore, if they were 16, they might claim they were 18 years old to be considered an adult. Or two, they just didn't really know their birthday in the first place because their parents didn't know, so they put January 1st, whatever year. Or various other reasons they wanted to change their birth dates. So many of those situations happen a lot for folks who were born between 1950 and 1975 in Vietnam and then became US citizens later. So if in that scenario whereby you book your plane ticket under, let's say, your US passport, and then you come into Vietnam using your Vietnam passport, but the names don't match, then the airline will say, hey, which passport did you use in order to book this airline? Then you might have to show both passports in order to pass immigration. So please consider that. If you have multiple passports, what are the names, birth dates on each of those passports? That's a big consideration. If you need more help, we'd be happy to help you sort those out. Most people think that having dual citizenship or multiple passports is something very exotic and very new, something that's hard to achieve. But in reality, it really comes down to very simple ideas. One is if you're going to enter a country, exit with the same passport, and vice versa. And two, think about the practical use and what is most suitable for your passport goals and needs per country. At Duong Global, we have a team of immigration experts that will be happy to help you understand those specific needs. And we hope that this video today shed some light for you on some of your questions about how to use multiple passports. So on behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure that you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment below of different passports you have or any issues that you may have. And of course, click on the bell for notifications for all the upcoming videos about immigration, about dual passports and how to get them. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.